What's going on, everybody? We are back once again. So we have already talked about the winners, but we kind of want to cover some other ground about, you know, what can we be expecting tonight as far as the things that we expect at Eurovision, the things that we maybe don't expect. I'm going to start with you, Jess. What are your predictions for tonight?
In general, I predict that a lot of kind of the odds and what the odds are saying, what people are saying is going to come true. I think we're not going to get a surprise winner. I think we're going to get a more, I want to say obvious winner, like Sweden, UK, for example, that are hyped to win. I predict there's going to be some songs that will have quite a big difference with televote and jury vote, and it's going to be very wide open. Okay.
How about you, Clara?
I think that the points this year is going to be a very little difference from one country to the other, because it's really hard to tell who is going to win. I have 4 in my list that I could see win, and that would be Ukraine, Sweden, the UK and Spain. I've just said this in no particular order, but it's so unclear right now who's gonna win. Everyone has done a fantastic set of rehearsals, and yeah, I don't know this year. It's super exciting.
Definitely very exciting, and I have to say that based on the semi-finals that we saw, one thing that I felt is that even among the semi-finalists that haven't made it this far, in years past, there's certain songs that kind of look like non-qualifiers, but this time, even the non-qualifiers look like they would have a place in the final. Like everything, even despite the technical issues with the kinetic sun not working as it's supposed to be, everything I think has really come together from a visual point of view, and we've actually had very strong performances overall. I would say there weren't many performers that really did not deliver, whereas in previous years we might have seen that before. So I would like to think that there will be, you know, smaller gaps between the scores, and that maybe we won't actually see 0 points this year like we saw last year 4 times. But let's go to you, Harry. Your predictions for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to Clara and Jess. I think there will be some big discrepancies between televote and jury. If you look at the songs in the final this year, there's a good blend of, like, not novelty acts, but like the quirky style. You've got Norway, Moldova, Serbia, where you look at them and you're like, you see very high televote support, but you're a bit unsure on the jury. On the other side, you've got songs that don't necessarily rely on staging, but they rely on musical quality. You know, Azerbaijan, Belgium, Iceland, Portugal, Lithuania. That was not necessarily Greece, to be fair, but and ones that you can see doing really well with the jury, especially, but not so good with the televote. If you look at last year, you know, Love Is On My Side with Black Mamba and Hooverphonic did very well with the jury, musical quality, very stylish, but they really flopped badly with the televote. There's a lot more of those songs this year, and I think that's going to repeat.
Okay.
Yeah, I think also there's, we also have like the 3 sad boys, commonly known in Eurovision as the 3 sad boys, which are Poland, Azerbaijan, and Australia. So I think also some of the points are going to be divided in between those 3 countries for people who are appreciative of male ballads. But then at the same time, there's also something for everyone. There's songs of very different genres. So I think this edition of Eurovision is going to definitely attract a lot of viewers and a lot of new viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree about the diversity of sounds that we hear, and as you say, there is really something for everyone. This is the year I think that people should really be watching Eurovision if they're skeptics, because, you know, the quality has really come up quite a bit. Maybe not the most animated and over the top year, but there's still, as you say, those quirky entries for people who come to Eurovision for that. And there's a lot of things that are in between, a lot of the really sentimental ballads, a lot of, you know, kind of abstract things like Serbia. Yeah, I think that this is a really great year, and let's see.
But the fact that we don't have so many props on stage, it really means that the singers are relying on their actual talent, which is a very good indicator when it comes to quality. Yeah,
good point, I would say. Anything else? Any other predictions? Oddball predictions?
Oddball predictions? I'm going to say, maybe this is not oddballs, but I could see Germany coming last, and I think this is a subject we need to touch on, because the rest of the Big 5 have learned from 0 points and have a very bad run through of the past, I don't know, 10 years maybe. But Germany is still stuck in their ways. I found it very peculiar because the rest have actually stepped up their game.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about that. What do you think, Harry?
Yeah, I mean, I really feel bad for Germany this year, because I really don't think that if the Big 5 were as, let's say, mediocre as they usually are, that Germany would not be nearly as scrutinised as it is. I think it's a really quality song. Actually, I really like it. I think they've done quite well with the staging. It puts you in a nice atmosphere. The problem this has is it's right after Ukraine, so that's going to sap a lot of the televote it could have had. Who knows? Maybe third year in a row 0 points. Hopefully not, though. But I think I'd like to see this not come last, but at the same time, I think it's the most likely to come last.
I personally don't see Germany finishing in last place. I think it is, a very respectable entry, and it's got a great staging that works very well. And I do think that, televoters and jury members will like this and will throw it some votes. I can't see it escaping the bottom 5, but I think it could be lifted from 0 points in last place.
Who would you see coming last?
I could potentially see Switzerland in last place.
Yeah, if it's not Germany, I think it'll be Switzerland.
That's very interesting. That's a very interesting choice.
Switzerland would not be my choice for last. Certainly not with the jury, I would say. Maybe low with the televote, but even I think there's some televote appeal in there, and it'll be very interesting to see how that score went.
To be fair, though, interestingly, this is the first time in ages we've had 25 songs. The last time we had 25 songs in the final, 2011, Switzerland came last then.
Interesting. Yes, just to pick up on what you said about Germany, I would say that this is probably the most likely contender for last place. Not that I would wish that upon them, but the positive could be that if the 4 of the big 5 that really have lived up to the expectations of being a pre-qualified country, if that shows, if that singles out Germany as not having lived up to that expectation, then maybe things will change for the better, and we will see a different approach from the German broadcaster to Eurovision, because I'm sure that would be warmly welcomed by Eurovision fans and the German public as well. Anything else before we sign off?
No, I think we've said everything that we can. It's definitely the most interesting Eurovision in a very long time, because everyone last year could predict it was Måneskin and or Barbara Pravi. So this year we have more than 2 contenders, and that's fantastic and exciting.
All right, well, we'll leave it there then. Thank you so much for joining us for this video. If you haven't done already, please subscribe to Eurovox, because we're talking about Eurovision all the time. And also, please join us tonight for our broadcast from the press center of the show, so you can talk with us as it's happening and let us know what your predictions are. Any of the oddball things that you think that nobody else is thinking about, but you think it's going to have true because you have a hunch. We'd love to know what you have to say about that. But we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.